Hi newbies, Nurse Ruthie here, and you're listening to the Newbie Nurse Podcast. So this past week has been super stressful. I'm not sure if it's because Aunt Flo's on the way, the moon, not sure, but it's been super busy. I have had several unexpected financial expenses. I noticed at work I was getting a little bit cranky. I said, you know what? Girl, you need to practice what you preach. Now, if you've heard this podcast before, I explained I've never done a podcast before. And when I do these podcasts, I just pretty much whatever is going on that week is what I talk about. So I don't script it. I just talk about it. I decided, hey, let's talk about when you feel overwhelmed. When you feel overwhelmed, what to do at work. How I know I start feeling overwhelmed, I start feeling like I'm grumbling. I start feeling irritated over stupid shit. And with that being said, I want to thank my charge nurse for having some grace. I love you. I started looking into myself okay, let's check myself here. Did I eat? Do I need to pee? Do I need to take a break? Some deep breathing. I started thinking about the wonderful vacations I have coming up and how much I have planned to do. Really looking at what I have to be grateful for. I mean, especially people in other countries, they have nothing, just for me to have running water. I'm appreciative of that. With that being said, I've come up with a couple tips for you newbie nurses because you are going to be stressed, especially being new on the floor, whatever facility you're working at. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. You may feel like all eyes are on you. You just feel that pressure. You walk into the room and you're like, oh, this patient's going to know I'm new. Okay, all of that is completely normal. First thing I want to say is stay organized. Some nurses have what's called a brain. Basically, it's a piece of paper that has all their tasks they need to complete on each patient. I, in the ER, do not use a brain because the patients come and go so quickly. But when I worked on the floor, I did. It felt like it helped a lot with my report as well. I had spots with my lab values, everything that I did for that patient, how much they ate, if they had a bowel. I had the lovely checklist. I'm sure there's plenty of these checklists I'm sure they have some on Etsy, definitely on Google. And then make sure that when you're looking at all your patients, you have all these tasks, do the most critical thing first. So if a patient isn't breathing, you want to go ahead and go and stabilize that patient first, make sure everything is good. You want to ask for help. Ask your coworkers, ask your charge nurse, ask, hey, can someone please medicate my patient or help this person to the bathroom? Because at those times when you feel really overwhelmed, that's when you're really, really risk of making mistakes. Slow down. What you have to do the most important thing first. Do one thing at a time. Next tip I have for you is to be on time. Now, there are many times where I am running to that time clock a minute before I have to clock in. But as a new nurse, I would be there 30 minutes to an hour before my shift. I did this. It was a choice of mine because I felt like I would be more organized if I got there earlier, looked over the chart. That is what helped me feel more secure and more confident with my care at that time. And also, my next tip I've mentioned several times, I hope you are doing it, is take your breaks. Definitely, even if it's just 5 minutes, if you have ability to walk off the floor, if they can watch your patients, just take a couple of deep breaths outside, just looking at the trees, grounding yourself. I personally like to take my breaks in my car. I listen to podcasts, I listen to music. Sometimes I take a nap. I love, and especially when it's getting cooler out, I'll leave the windows down, get that breeze. This makes me feel recharged and rejuvenated. And when I come back inside, I'm like, okay, it's round 2, got my second wind. The next tip I have for you is celebrate your milestones. As time passes, being a nurse, you're going to see, wow, I'm really getting this. I'm getting the groove of this. I'm not staying 2 hours after work charting. I got that Foley by myself. I got that IV by myself. I'm doing pretty good. I feel good about myself. I have nurses asking me for advice. Those are all my milestones. Recently, I saw this TikTok of a student nurse. She was on her clinical and she was so proud. She did a Foley. She did a whole bunch of IV. She did a lot of things and she was so proud. But there was another student there. I guess they were in a different school and she was making fun of her because she was pretty much celebrating that. That is so crazy to me. And all this girl on TikTok could think about is like, she didn't even want to celebrate her milestones anymore. Like, do not let people fuck up your day. Fuck them. Fuck them. Most likely, that person was super jealous because she got to do all that. She was being celebrated. As I've gotten older, I'm like, damn, when I feel like people are hating on me, I take that as a compliment now, because you can't hate somebody that's doing worse than you. So obviously that person feels like you are above them. And I'm like, hell yeah, I got fucking haters. I love it. Because I've grown as a person, as a nurse. I've become more secure, and I've learned from the past. And I promise you, I will never, ever be in that dark place ever again. I am proud of where I came from and where I am right now, where I'm going to in the future. This podcast, again, I told you, it was like spontaneous. It was like, make a podcast. I've never done this before, and I'm having the best time with it. It comes to me so easily, and I'm grateful. Not only that, because I feel like I'm giving back to the future nurses, but it makes me feel like I'm healing myself, seeing the growth. I look through some of my journals and I read some of the things I've written. I'm like, wow, I've grown so much. I'm so proud of that. And I can't wait to read the journals now that I have now in the future, because I know I'm going to be growing even more. Newbies, again, feel free to DM me on the socials, or Newbie Nurse Podcast. And your girl was so excited and so happy. Finally, we're available on Apple Podcasts. I am super psyched, so you can find me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I appreciate your time, your vibes, your love, your support. And remember, treat people how you want to be treated, because what you put into this world is what you're going to get back. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Hey newbies, if you're liking this podcast, or even if you don't, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speaker and do not reflect the views or position of any entities they represent.
Oh, thank you.